Welcome to She Sells Radio. I have to tell you, I love expanding my mindset of what's possible by connecting with people who are doing things at a really high level and then helping you do the same by bringing them to you. And I was kind of laughing as I was preparing for today's interview, because in my own life, when I hit my first 7 figures in my first year of business, I was like, oh, I'm doing pretty good. Like, okay, I got this. And when you hear what my guest today has done, my accomplishments were peanuts in comparison. And it's not about comparison. I'm so big on that if you've listened to the show for any amount of time, but it is about elevating and expanding your mindset of what's really possible for you in your life. And so my guest today, I'm going to read you a bit of his bio in a moment, and then you're going to be so excited to meet him if you're not familiar with him already. But he's changing the game in sales and business. He's built $1 billion business in less than 4 years. So my guest is Bornancin. He's the #1 best-selling author of 3 books. He's a serial salesperson, having sold over 100 million in sales, an 8-figure entrepreneur 2 times over, and the inventor of Seamless.AI, and a motivational speaker who is obsessed with helping you maximize your success. And by the way, if you're listening to the podcast, go check out the YouTube video of this interview, because he's got a pretty awesome set. And I'm super inspired to upgrade my own set. So Brandon, welcome to She Sells Radio. We're so happy to have you here today.
Hey, thank you so much for having me, Elise. I'm honored to be here and grateful to serve the audience.
Oh my gosh. Well, there's so many places we could go. And as you and I were talking in the pre-chat, I think one of the things that I'm so inspired by is that journey of transformation over the years. And you talked a bit about, early on in sales, what it's like to hit that first 6 figures, then 7 figures, and sometimes like the dumb things that we do when we hit that level, when we're not connected to the much bigger vision. And now really where you're going with Seamless, and you're building this empire. And so can you share just a bit of, I'd love if you could go even back to your story of like getting started in sales, because you started off in sales before becoming an entrepreneur. I'd love to hear about, did you always know you were going to go into sales? Did that click in later? What was that journey like? And then we'll talk a bit about the transition to entrepreneur.
Yeah, totally. So I came from probably like most of the listeners, potentially, like I just grew up in a tough family. My mom had no college degree. My dad had no college degree. So my family worked 4 different, blue collar jobs. Mom worked at a grocery store, bank, father at construction, and then retail on the weekends. So growing up, I had the garage sale clothes. I was eating food out of the cans, like could never go to the lunch line. So I just knew at a really young age, I wanted a different type of life. My friend, so now going into high school, friends like, hey, there's this job that pays the highest amount of money per hour. And it was actually a janitor job. So take the janitor job at my elementary school while I was still obviously in high school. And it was terrible. Like I got to see how hard manual labor, hot work is. And I was trading time and hard labor for money. And I was like, there's got to be a better way. Ended up searching I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. So at that time I was like, I got to stop this janitor job. This is brutal. This is terrible. So then started searching the classified ads at the time for my newspaper, the Plain Dealer, Cleveland Plain Dealer, and came across a classified ads for, I was getting paid $6 an hour. They were like $7.50 an hour plus unlimited commissions, make $25 to $50 an hour. And it was for a call center. So I ended up applying for the job, got the job. And that's when I was first introduced at like 17 and 18 years old, literally cold calling for sales at a call center. And the crazy part is I was cold calling, selling donations. Like one of the hardest things to do is cold call in sales, selling a product that like doesn't exist, because you're just trying to sell people to give you their money for virtually nothing. Now, luckily, what they could do with the donation is get like a firefighter sticker or a police officer sticker, because I was calling for nonprofit organizations. But that was the first time I noticed, like, if you think about it, looking back, the janitor job was because of inbound marketing and inbound referrals. And it was just that, like, man, I wish I knew about sales back then. And then I found this job, this call center job, boom. I realized like that was the first time I met some of the first millionaires I've ever met at that call center. and luckily learned how to sell there. And then I knew that this tech call center, like technology would be the future, the internet would be the future. So then when I had to go to college, I was like, I got to find a technology product that I can sell. And at that time, I was a big online poker player. And a bunch of my friends kept coming to me asking, where do you play online poker? So after like the 30th person coming into my dorm room asking, hey, where are you playing online? I'm like, they should pay me to freaking sell this software. And that's when it like hit me. I'm like, I'm going to cold call all these online poker and online gaming sites. I'm going to tell them, hey, pay me $250 a person that I can sell to sign up. And I started cold calling down the list. This was right when the World Series of Poker was coming to the US.
Oh my, was this super quick? Was affiliate marketing even a thing then? Like, was that?
This is affiliate. Like I started an affiliate marketing company for the poker industry. This was like right at the beginning of affiliate marketing.
Wow.
Yeah. Online affiliate marketing. And it was, I got into online affiliate marketing and sales right when the World Series of Poker was hitting the US, right when online gambling was hitting the US. And it was just something that I loved to do. So I started cold calling all of these sites. They all told me no. I had to use a Skype phone number because they're all based outside of the US. So I was like, I finally got a hold of a bunch. They all turned me down. First one said no. Second one said hell no. Third one was like, no, but I'll give you $100 per user. And then after you sign up the first 10 users, I'll give you $1,000 bonus. So I'm like, shit, I sell 10 people to sign up. I get $1,000 plus $1,000 bonus. And then I got a bonus for every 10 people that I signed up on top of the commission.
Right.
So parlayed that into building a $12 million company over the next 3 years in college. Started going door knocking. And then I built a list of all the people that I needed to sell to. Basically, like very similar to how Facebook was started, Zuckerberg scraped all of the profiles of the dorm sites and then created Facebook. Where I was like, well, I'm going to go into all my dorm pages, the dorm books. I scraped all of them and I just started mass emailing them. Hey, I want to get you hooked up with this poker site. I'll give you some money to get started. It was called Free 50 Now. So literally I'd get paid $100. I'd give you $50. I'd make $50. And then as you go up in signing people up, you get more money. Blew that up. That was like my foray into going from call center sales to sales and marketing and entrepreneurship. And then 3 years later, they made online gambling illegal. So I'm walking down college campus. I get a text. This is so weird how Zuckerberg has impacted me twice in my life. I get a text while I'm walking down campus. It's a text message from Zuckerberg. It was right when they took Facebook from desktop to mobile. First SMS, hey, Brandon, you've got a friend that was added. You've got a new friend request. And I'm like, shit, he's going mobile. This is amazing. Yeah. And that's when I was like, mobile marketing is the future of sales and marketing, one-to-one to consumers. However, like all the gurus, like the fake gurus and all these people, they tell you like, you got to do SEO, you got to do PR, you got to do online marketing, all of this shit, right? So I was getting heavily influenced at the time by all these fake gurus online. And when I started in mobile, I did the exact opposite of doing the list building and the outbound selling that I did for the poker company. I did all this PR. I did all this SEO. I did all this blog writing and all this bullshit besides selling. And for the next 4 years, because I didn't have the list of the people that I needed to sell to, because I wasn't doing B2B sales and I relied on marketing, the whole company failed. I lost $4 million. It went bankrupt over 4 years.
Wow.
So I've learned like throughout this thing is like, okay, if I rely on inbound referrals, my success could deteriorate and fail. Outbound list building and sales and prospecting and door knocking can help you go from broke to financially free. And then in mobile, if you rely on inbound, like you could lose everything. So broke entrepreneur again, I went from broke to financially free and now I'm broke again. Right. And I'm 22, 23. I was like, what do I do? Well, the fastest way to go from broke to financially free again is to get into sales. I was like, I'm done with entrepreneurship. How did I have all the money in the world and now I'm broke? I was like, so I'm just going to go all in on sales, and ended up getting an enterprise sales job for IBM Interactive. So this was the digital marketing arm of IBM. I actually pitched IBM my InMobile deal, like to work on all the text message marketing for their Victoria's Secrets account and their Walmart account. So they knew of me and my partner, Jake, from college when we were running this InMobile thing, but they're not going to give college kids a $500,000 to $1 million contract for Fortune 500 brands when they could work with a venture-backed, super proven company. So IBM Interactive, my partner actually goes and works there. He tells me I should go sell for them. I go get the job, start selling for IBM Interactive. I do really well because I go all in on list building, training, and script writing. And then I got an opportunity to sell for Google. And when I was selling for Google, they were maniacal, like psychopaths in a good way, with productivity. Every week they're pounding you. How do you increase your productivity? How do you increase your production? How do you increase your results? They had this they call it productive paranoia, where like, how can you keep accelerating your production through technology, automation, engineering, intelligence, whatever. So they're like, what's the number one thing that's slowing you down? And then what's the next number one thing that's slowing you down? And you got to figure out how to automate it. And I just realized I audited my sales time, recognized that roughly 57 to 59% of my time was wasted on manual list building, CRM data entry, and scouring millions of websites, looking for emails and phone numbers of every single person I needed to sell to. So I started calling the engineers, like in my network in Google, IBM, and anyone I knew in Ohio, because I'm from Ohio. I was like, hey, Google, you've got a search engine. You can find any info in the world. IBM Watson and artificial intelligence, you could research, validate, and verify any data in the world. Why don't we build a search engine that finds every contact and company in the world that you need to sell to, and then use AI to research, validate, and verify their cell phones, emails, and phone numbers? So I do that. And I went from making over $100,000 a year to making over $100,000 a month with predictability down to the dollar in the day, using this like secret tool that I built.
Wow.
And the goal was to never build this platform thing for the world. It was to really just automate what I was doing. And then when I was in Vegas at the Cosmopolitan, hungover, looking up at the ceiling, I got a call from the accountant that was calling me about my first $100,000 commission check. I was there for like a friend's birthday party. And that's when it hit me. I was like, holy shit. Like, I've never gotten a six-figure commission check before.
Yeah. I
want to help every salesperson do the same. After Vegas, got home, went all in on Seamless, quit my job. And now we serve, 500,000 salespeople. We've helped 14,000 six-figure club winners, 4,000 seven-figure club winners. And we've generated over $29.5 billion in sales for our users, which is crazy.
It's so crazy. There's so much from your story where it's like, holy crap, like we could pull it out and have a whole conversation about that. But one of the things I want to ask you before we go into kind of that journey of entrepreneurial growth is for you, and this is so common for all of us as entrepreneurs, the ups, the downs, the roller coaster. You have the booms, you have the bus.
Massive roller coaster.
Huge. Yeah. And I appreciate you sharing that in your story. And for you, it happened really early. I mean, way earlier than it did on my journey. So I'm trying to think, if I'm 22 running a $12 million company, what that's what that's got to be like. What did you learn about your identity and not placing your identity on your results throughout that process? Like, was that, because that's so tough, right? As a salesperson or as an entrepreneur, we can say when we have our best year, our best month, it's like, we feel so good about ourselves. And then things crumble, things fall apart, something unexpected happens, and it really can rock you. So what did you learn about emotional management and kind of creating an identity outside of your results throughout that process?
Yeah, I realized at a quick age it's you versus you, and really every day trying to beat who you were, what you did, what you accomplished the day before. I always had this operating philosophy of staying humble, staying hungry, and always being the hardest working person in the room. Like, I just loved that work ethic because I grew up like in such a difficult financial situation as a kid with my sister at the time. to where I was like, I'm never going back. Like I will always work as hard as humanly possible to never go back to being super poor again. So that played a big part into like my work ethic. But then, you know, when you go through these ups and downs, when I'm down, the way that I've always stayed, I guess, motivated and inspired is like, it's okay to be down. Like I'm down every day. Every day I'm going through something hard that I don't want to do, that I'm challenged to do, that I'm procrastinating to do, that I'm unmotivated to do, that I'm exhausted and stressed out to do. But I just think of it like it's you versus you. You've got big goals. You've got big dreams. You have to do the hard things that you know you need to do to get to where you want to go. And the minute that you stop doing those hard things is the minute that you start saying goodbye to your goals and dreams. So having the you versus you mentality, I think I got it because like once my family finally started to get out of being broke, because my dad went from broke to financially free, he lived way above his means. So my father always did everything to impress other people.
Yeah.
And like my dad also went from broke to financially free from sales, which is ironic. He always told me like never get into sales because he was stressed with sales. He was always worried about getting fired. I think because he didn't have a college degree or whatever. I'm not sure. I also think it was because he didn't really understand how to build a predictable, scalable, repeatable sales system, sales process. But what he did was when he finally started to make it, he always lived above his pay grade with the cars and the house and the food going out to eat and just like clothes, always trying to impress other people. So growing up, I was just like in college and high school. Well, really his success came when I was in college and I already made my own success. I was like, I'm not going to be like my dad living above my means. Like I just really got used to not giving a shit what people thought. Maybe it was because I was able to achieve this success early on or whatever. But like I think that's the ultimate euphoria is doing things for you, doing things for serving other people versus doing things and buying things to make you look good to other people.
Yeah.
It's very hard to do. Like, I don't know why I don't have that like in my system. I've never had it in my system. It's just, I don't care what other people think about me. And a way to do that too, by the way, a secret to that is like, I know every day I'm trying to help people to maximize their success. It's why, you know, I wrote all the books. It's why I came out with Whatever It Takes. It's why I came out with the books, the software, posting on social media, like going all out, working 7 days a week for our customers, our users, our investors, our employees, my followers on LinkedIn and social media. Like I know every day I'm literally giving it my all to help our audience get to the next level. So if someone hates on me for that, that means that they've got something deeply rooted in themselves that they can't overcome, that they've got these demons inside them that they just got to figure out how to get out. And the ability to know, like, you know, I've got this rule: if it can help one person, you have to do it. So like whenever I'm writing fear, you know, fear will kill so much potential. Like fear is also a thing that keeps salespeople stuck. Oh, I'm scared to follow up with this prospect. Oh, I'm scared to text them. Oh, I'm scared to ask for the sale. It's like, I'm like, if it could help one person, I got to do it. So in sales, like going from 0 to 6 figures, 6 figures to 7 figures, it's like, if you have a product that's going to change their life forever for the better, you better follow up. You better be relentless. You better be unstoppable. Like, I will not take no for an answer because I know literally the life anyone wants, the family anyone wants, the freedom anyone wants, the time, the money anyone wants. The only way to get that is with the list. The only way to build the list is with Seamless. So like, I will do whatever it takes. I will follow up as much as it takes. I will try to deliver as much value to anyone that I sell to as possible because I know their life is going to be a multiplied better outcome with my products and services than without it. Their life will be dramatically worse without our services. Their life will be 3, 5, 10x better with Seamless. So it's these little principles I've learned along the way, which I talk about in Whatever It Takes, that if you apply them and you apply them every day, it's not like once out of a year, once out of 6 months. It's every day you got to apply these principles to success in sales, in business, and in life.
Yeah, gosh, it's such a powerful reframe of fear. It really is. And I think it's reattaching to the vision, right? Not just for your company, but for them, and reminding yourself, look, if this is going to help them, I get to put my ego to the side and I get to show up and not care what they think about me, which frankly, I think is hard for most people. And I appreciate what you shared about that's never really been a thing for you. I think most people listening, probably like, that is a thing for me. And that does feel hard. So we've got to have these like mental tricks to get past it, but reframing that and leveraging fear as a just as a motivator. Like, if this is scaring me, I know it means I got to do it, right?
Yeah.
So super powerful. I'd love if we could spend a couple minutes talking about the journey from like 0 to your first 7 figures, 7 to 10 figures, and then beyond, or excuse me, 7, 8, and then beyond, because it's not every day we get the opportunity to talk with a guest who's done that. So like, what does that journey look like? And I know that could be an hour-long conversation. I know we don't have that long, but a lot of our listeners, they want to get to that first 7 figures. So let's spend maybe a couple more minutes talking about that, but then beyond, what does it look like to scale from there?
Yeah, 100%. So
learned.
I believe like making your first 6 figures in sales and 7 figures in sales is so important to your life that we came out with an event, an award called the President's Club Awards. Yeah. So I remember when I was selling for IBM, and they gave me a $25 million quota. It took me all year. I spent like 340 days out of 365 days of the year away from my family, away from my loved ones, to crush this quota. And I beat the quota, and then my boss literally like calls me and doesn't thank me. He's like, "Hey, that's great. Here's your new quota." And I felt just super defeated.
Wow.
And I'm like, man, I literally just gave up so much of my time, energy, and effort to hit this big number that you've been telling me to hit all year. And there was like no celebration, no congrats. Wow. So I was like, after that, I was like, I never want a salesperson or an entrepreneur to feel that way ever again. And that's why the team and I at Seamless, we came out with these President's Club Awards. And what the 6-figure award represents is when you make 6 figures or more in sales using Seamless, we ship you this custom 6-figure award. When you make over 7 figures, $1 million in sales, we ship this 7-figure club award. So we've helped 14,185 winners. I'm looking at the data live ticker. 14,185 people win the 6-figure club award. 4,341 people win the 7-figure club award. That's awesome. They all have 5 things in common. Are you ready? And these 5 things in common will take you from 0 to 100K, 100K to $1 million, $1 million to 10 million, 10 million to 100 million.
Okay, awesome.
So the first one is the math. I call it the math. So let's just say you want to make, let's just say you're a salesperson, you're making $100,000 in salary, you want to make another $100,000 to provide for your family. It's like, okay, what is the math to generate that? Let's pretend if you make over $1 million in sales, you make $100,000 in commission, 10%. So then it's like, okay, I got to generate $1 million in sales for the year. Okay, well, $1 million in sales, what's my average deal size?
Right.
So let's just say it's 10 grand. Okay, $10,000. Okay, so that means that if I do 100 deals, and by the way, I'm not good at math, audience, but we're just going to try to figure this out together.
I'm trusting your numbers.
$10,000 average deal size. Yep. To do $1 million, that means I need to do 100 deals. Okay, well, this is the math. Number one, you got to figure out the math. Okay, well, there's 265 sales days in a year. So now 265 divided by 100, that's 2.65 deals a day I got to do. Okay, so I believe in breaking your annual quota down into the day and then figuring out how many leads, appointments, and sales does it take to hit that daily sales number.
Got it.
So let's just say we'll round up 3 sales a day. Okay. Well, to book those sales, let's just say you convert from appointment to sales at 20%. So B-Rock, do 3 divided by 0.2. Where are we at? 15. I should have known that math. Okay, so that means you need 15 appointments a day to get to the 3 sales a day. And then let's just say to book an appointment from leads to appointments, it's just use 10%. So take 15, divide that by 10%. Where are we at? 150. I knew that math actually. So now I know every day I need 150 leads, 15 appointments, 3 sales to hit my $1 million quota, to make my $100,000 in commission, which means I'm bringing home $200K. And I hit my first $1 million in sales. So then it's all about LSAT. So the next 4 secrets, like once you know your math, you could use that same math that I just took you through. What is the annual goal? What is my conversion rate from leads to appointments, appointments to sales? Break it down by the day. And now I've got my goal. So for us to do at a $10,000 average deal size, I need 150 leads. I'm going to prospect those 150 leads. They're going to turn into 15 appointments. Those 15 appointments are going to turn into 3 sales. I got to do that every day.
Boom. Simple.
That gets me $1 million. And by the way, most likely if you're doing that, you're going to make way more than 200K for the year. You'll probably make like 300 to 500K for the year, which is awesome as a salesperson. Top 1%, you know?
Right.
So to hit your first $1 million, you just figure out how much in commissions do I need to make to generate the $1 million, break it down by day. And then once you know those numbers, there's only 4 things that you can do in sales to make your $1 million, to make your $10 million, to make your $100 million. And it's called LSAT. First one, part of the LSAT is list, the list. So for you to sell anything to anyone, you need the list. The first part of the whole funnel, the top of the funnel, are the leads that you need to research and prospect and sell to book the appointments.
Right.
Because to go down any sales funnel, it goes leads, appointments, sales. Top of the funnel is the leads. So you use a platform like Seamless, join for free at Seamless, and then you figure out, okay, I need 150 leads a day. And you can build your list on Seamless of the contacts and companies and emails and cell phones that you need, and then get that imported into HubSpot, Salesforce, whatever CRM you've got. You can do that in 10 minutes. So step 1, figure out the math. Step 2, it's all about the list and building the list every day or every month. The 14,185 6-figure club winners, the 4,341 President's Club winners, they've all done it 2 ways to build the list. Number 1, they build it every day. So people that are great at not procrastinating, I would say like 60% of the President's Club winners do it the latter way I'm going to tell you. The 40% that keep going from the 6-figure club to the 7-figure club to the 8-figure club, they do it every day. So the 40% non-procrastinators, they will build their list every day and then prospect against that list every day. That's 40% of these winners, roughly, almost 20,000 Pres Club winners.
And is that like the first thing they do in the day for most of
Yeah,
them? Like
so they'll either do it like in the evening, or they'll do it right when they wake up. Like, so typically, like right when you wake up, you're a little groggy, you're tired, you're kind of lazy, lethargic, right? You need to get your coffee, your water, you need to get energized.
Right.
That's the perfect time to put on some nice music, jump on Seamless, jump on LinkedIn, and just start building your list for the day. Like your list for the day is your Google Maps for where you're going. I'm at point A, where Brandon's at in Ohio. I want to go to his beautiful house on the beach in Florida. Well, the list will take you from Ohio. Like if you got to have a map to get to where you want to go. So your map is like point A, I'm broke. I want to go to financially free, point B. Well, the leads is your map to get there, because that's who's got all of your money. That's who's got all of your riches. So you got to build that list. So they'll do it in the morning. They'll do it in the evening. The best time is to do it like in the morning, during lunch, in the evening, during non-selling hours. Like you want to build that list when you're not able to connect with people. Like the worst time that you're able to connect with people is the best time to be building your list. The other 60% of the people that build the list, they will actually like spend a few days doing it, build a massive list for the month, for the quarter. So when I was at IBM, well, actually it was at IBM and Google, like enterprise salespeople, you could really build a list for the quarter, for the year. High transaction, high volume like customers, like Seamless is $100 a month. So I can sell to virtually any B2B salesperson in the world, right? So we build new lists every day. So like the lower the price point, the more list building you're doing. The higher the price point, the less list building you're doing, because they're long sales cycles. It's going to take you much longer to go after the prospects, you name it. So the other 60% of the President's Club winners, they'll build a list for the whole quarter, the whole month of thousands of people. And then they'll spend the next 22 days in the month, because you've only got 22 sales days in a month. Yeah. They'll use that time to be aggressively prospecting, pitching, closing, and selling that lead list.
Got it. Awesome. So you've got math, you've got the list, right? And then what's
the third one? The third one begins with an S, and that's scripts.
Scripts. Okay.
So if you've got the math and you've got the list figured out, you need to know what you're going to say. What is the opener? What is the elevator pitch? What is the value prop? I believe anyone that you're prospecting, it's crazy, by the way. I learned this really on in my career, when I would try to get people to book with me and they would never book with me, because I was always talking about what I want, what I need. And then I realized that everyone was listening to the same radio station on Spotify. Back then it was a real radio station, and they're all tuning into the same radio station. Elise, do you know what the radio station is?
I'm so curious. No.
So the radio station is called WIIFM. What's in it for me? Yeah. Everyone's tuning into this station every day of the week. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Anytime I try to talk to someone, they're listening to the damn radio station, WIIFM. I'm like, hey, what's going on? They're like, WIIFM. Like, shit. Hey, where have you been? Like, what's been new? They're like, oh, I'm just listening to WIIFM. What's in it for me? So when you're writing your scripts, you have to be obsessed. Servant leader, servant salesperson obsessed. What's in it for me? And there's two things that people care about with what's in it for me when they're listening to that radio station. Number one, help me remove my pain, remove my challenges, remove my problems. The pain. Yeah. And then the gain. Help me achieve my greatest goals, my greatest dreams, my greatest desires. So when you're writing your scripts, pain or gain, which pill? It's like I'm freaking Morpheus on the Matrix.
Right.
Pain or gain.
Right.
Which pill are you going to take, the blue or the red? And then when you focus on pain or gain, and with your scripts and your messaging to these prospects, like try pain one day, that doesn't work, then try gain, then go to a different pain. You can go back and forth between pain and gain for what's in it for me every day of the week for a year. Like, so you want to obsess over the scripts there. And also a thing that really helps me go from 7 figures to 8 figures was recognizing the sales objections. Like, this is when I became, another Matrix analogy. I don't like the Matrix, by the way. I don't know why I'm using it as an analogy. But like Keanu Reeves being able to like see numbers and digits and fly through the Matrix. Yeah. I realized that when I became obsessed with sales objections, and I recognized that every sales objection, there's only 15 sales objections. You're going to run into them every day of the week, every year, every conversation. I'm not interested, no budget, it's too expensive, already working with someone, send me more information, unsubscribe, talk to my boss, I don't have any budget, it's too expensive, call me back later, send me more info, tell me more, what's the price? All of these things, there's only like 15 things that someone's going to tell you when you're prospecting them or pitching them or trying to close them. So you have to prepare the scripts in advance. This is like you're a Super Bowl quarterback for a Super Bowl football team. The prospect is going to play defense. You booking that appointment or closing that sale is you throwing a touchdown Hail Mary pass. Well, to throw a touchdown Hail Mary pass, I need to know what play I'm going to run, which is like your opening script, your cold call script, your cold email script, your social script. Well, now the prospect is going to come at you with the defensive play. I'm not interested. No budget. It's too expensive. Already working with someone. Send me more information. Call me back later. Talk to my boss. I have no budget. Well, for you to throw the touchdown pass like Tom Brady, you got to know what to say when they say that. You got to be able to address the defense overcome the defense, and then score the touchdown and get that appointment or get that sale. That's why number 3, scripts, absolutely critical. And I'm working on scripts. I've been in sales for 20 years since I was 16 years old. I've been working on scripts for 20 years straight.
Yeah. It's a process. And I like what you said, because this is another conversation for another another day, but I think most salespeople are way too scripted. So I talk a lot about it where it's like, they sound robotic. I'm not a fan of that. What I do like a lot about I like a lot about what you said, but one of the key things is like pain or gain, and continuing to come back and revisit with what I'm saying. Is it about what's in it for me? Right. And then focusing in on the pain or gain. So I think we can all improve our process there. We can all come back and say, am I saying the thing that's really of service to this person? Or am I just saying the same thing canned again and again and again and not refining or reinventing? So that's
it's all about optimizing the scripts. Like, get data from your prospects, track literally like because I was in digital marketing sales and ad tech sales at Google and IBM forever. Like, they would A/B test everything. So they would make tweaks to their online website, to the Google search forms, to the ads on Google, the ads on websites. Like, they're tweaking the color of buttons on a website to see what converts better. So with the scripts, you want to be constantly testing different scripts, seeing which one performs the best. And then that's your new control that beat who you were the day before. And then you just keep improving. And then with the sales objection, well, I don't want to sound like a robot, right? Like, I hear that all the time when we're coaching people to get into President's Club with our software. You know, when you go and watch a movie, let's just say Leonardo DiCaprio is in a new movie, Matthew McConaughey, Bradley Cooper, Brad Pitt, whoever, Scarlett Johansson, you know, Jennifer Lawrence, they're not sitting there. Actionable advice on how, you know, today's show is actionable advice on how to grow your business in sales. She sells radio. Today today She Sells Radio. We're going to talk about actionable advice that will change your life, transform who you are, and take you to the next level. It's Elise Schaefer. Like, you know, Elise Archer, like, you know, like, people act it out. Yeah. You know, so it's all about the delivery of the script. Like, actors don't deliver it sounding like a robot. Any movie that you watch, they're practicing, they're acting, they're giving a show. So salespeople need to give the show of their life every time that they connect with a prospect. You can use scripts. Don't sound like an idiot. Don't sound like a robot. You know, deliver the show of a lifetime. Yeah.
Bring it every day. Bring it. So this is awesome. So give us we got to start. I want to get a final piece of advice from you, and this is so good, but I want to make sure we don't miss out on the last two. So
we've got last two is activity.
Okay. Got it.
So MLSAT, math, list, scripts. Fourth one is activity. Hustle beats talent when talent doesn't hustle. This is all about, you know, whatever your quota is, set it at 2, 3, 5x your quota. That's your own personal quota. Like, the way that I was able to become a millionaire in sales was because I literally was given $1 million quota. And I set the quota at the bottom level, 3 million, at the high level, 5 million. When I was at IBM, they gave me a $20 million quota, and I was like, I'm going to do 50 million. Okay. And then I got to reverse engineer to do 50 million. I got to do the math. What do I got to do per day? And then I built the resources, the system, the scripts, the lists around that per day. So it's all about the activity. You got to do an insane amount of list building, calling, emailing, social selling, pitching and closing, and follow-up activity. And the activity is driven by setting a really big target, whatever your quota is, 3 to 5x it, then do the math. Now you can do the activity. You can reverse engineer the activity that you need to do to hit that quota. Yeah. And then it's just staying motivated and working hard to achieve that activity. Growing up, I had a friend, smartest kid, never had to study. We would ace all of our high school tests. The same test that he would do no studying for, he aced. I would spend 2 to 4 weeks with his parents getting tutored while he played video games. So literally, I would study for 4 weeks. I'd get an A- or a B+. He would not study at all. He'd get like a high A+. Long story short, throughout college, it takes him 7 years to graduate undergrad. By the time he graduated, I graduated in 3 years, built a $12 million company, and then I was on to my second company. Like, it's because hustle beats talent when talent doesn't hustle. You don't need to be smart if you work hard. Like everyone that's been successful wasn't really smart. They just worked hard. Look at Warren Buffett. Look at a lot of these billionaires. Like they're not smart. People just work harder than the average. So if you work hard and you put in the sales activity, you're going to be massively successful. If you research the 2,700 billionaires in the world, the majority of them are salespeople. Because to go from broke to financially free, sales is the number one profession in the world to do that. And I talk a lot about this in my new book coming out on Amazon about tech sales. And then also they just put in work, the most activity every single day.
Yeah, it's a very common origin story, right? And that's why I appreciate your story of coming from the harder upbringing, because it is motivating to those of us who come from that. So tell us, okay, so what's the last one? So T, right?
The last one is training. So once you do the list, the scripts, the activity, the math, it's all about you versus you. I've got a philosophy that we teach everyone at our company at Seamless. It's part of like what I cover in Whatever It Takes. It's all about improve 1% better a day. So for you to improve 1% better a day, by the way, if you make $100,000 in sales, you improve 1% a day. By the end of the year, that compounds to 37x, which means by the end of the year, you will make $3.7 million.
Wow.
If you improved 1% a day. But the problem is everyone wakes up and we all want that one little success hack, the one secret so that we could work less, gain fast, win quicker, and it's over. Well, the problem is all these crypto people and all this jazz, right? Like you look at crypto, like crypto was a quick success thing overnight. Well, now it's performing at 50% on the dollar. Like all these things that happen quickly overnight, and I'm a big investor in crypto, so I have nothing to dog it. But like there's no overnight success hack. You got to put in the work every day, and training is about looking at all of your data in sales and getting trained and mentored and coached by hiring mentors, hiring coaches, buying courses, buying books, buying classes, getting people to hold you accountable, and getting the training that you need to be successful so that you could just keep improving every day. Because if you improve every day, that shit is going to compound to make you unstoppable. So to go from 0 to 100K, 100K to a million to 10 million, 10 million to 100 million. I went from 0 to $100 million company in 2.3 years or something crazy like that. The way that we were able to do it was we used MLSAT, and we worked on MLSAT every day.
Every single day. Yeah. I love that. It's like applying the formula. And I think for everyone listening, I would look at like, this is how I'm thinking about it right now. What's the one you can focus in on right now? So where are you maybe weakest, and how can you add that in? And then how can you add another, and continuing to apply that? So this is awesome. This is so helpful. Tell us 2 final questions, Brandon. So number 1, where can people connect with you? So what's the best way for them to get in touch?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've got a daily newsletter, and I do daily posts on Seamless.AI. Just join Seamless.ai for free. Yeah, and also we give you a free gift, $500 in free credits. This was something that Elise set up. So if you just use the referral code SHESELLS, it can be 1 word or 2 words. That's the name of the show, right? So type in SHESELLS. We're going to get you hooked up with $500 free in credits. And then also you'll get my daily newsletter where we share sales secrets, part of my book, my other best-selling book, Sales Secrets. I share different sales secrets to help you maximize your success in business and relationships and in life. And, love just talking about what we've learned going from, 0 to 100 million, 100 million to a billion, and hopefully now from a billion to IPO. Everything we learn in sales and marketing and entrepreneurship, we try to share with you, documenting the journey so that you could capitalize on our successes and what we've learned, and then skip the failures and mistakes and the millions we've lost from a lot of the missteps that we took.
It's huge. That's huge. Final question for you. And I love to do this when I have men on She Sells Radio. So I love to just give a tribute to a woman in your life. So I'd love if you could share and I know this can be hard, right? Because you have multiples, but
no, this is easy for me.
Okay, beautiful. So
this is like stupid easy for me.
Okay, beautiful. So who's been really influential in your life, and what have you learned most from her?
Yeah. So my wife, Danielle, who's also the COO of Seamless.ai, hands down helped maximize my potential. I'm grateful. Like she does amazing work here at our company in sales for women, in our company out there in the public for equality. We're big on like equality for everyone.
Mm.
And shit, she helped me become whole food plant powered. She helped me quit alcohol. Like if there's,
Wow.
she's the one, like anything that there is holding me back from maximizing my success, I push myself really freaking hard to achieve success. And then she takes it to a whole new level for me, our employees, our company, our followers. It's pretty simple. Like none of my, I don't think I'd have the success that I would have without her.
Mm.
And I'm super grateful for her. And also any other woman out there who's working, supporting anyone in sales. I think a lot of men that are in sales can't do it without their amazing partners, regardless if they know that or not, regardless if they believe that or not. And a lot of my success is attributed to her, and I'm grateful.
Amazing. Well, shout out to Danielle. You'll have to share that with her. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Brandon, for coming on today. This was super helpful. I'm going to go back to the math, lists, scripts, activity, training, and also just your mindset as you've been on your journey. Super inspiring. So appreciate you, my friend. Super excited about everything you've got going on. And thanks for a great interview.
Absolutely. I want to see everyone win these President's Club awards. If you're working with Elise listening, like she's obsessed with getting you to 6 and 7 figures. Let's get you to the 6-figure club award. Let's get you the 7-figure club award. Your success is our success. So thank you so much, everyone tuning in. I appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks, Brandon. And to you, my listener, hey, go check out Seamless.AI. You've got that great code you can use, which is super exciting, and connect with Brandon online. He shares amazing content on LinkedIn, read his books. And thank you so much for being a listener of She Sells Radio. I'll see you on our next